Cedar Point, a huge theme park that sits right on the beach, has a hefty dose of coasters and some strange policies. So how do you make the most out of your next trip there?
We're gonna share some of the tips, tricks, and hacks that we learned during our recent visit to this happy place, Cedar Point.
Hi friends, and welcome to this happy place.
If you're new here, I'm Jake.
And I am Taylor.
We recently traveled to Cedar Point, and this is our tips and tricks video. We made some mistakes, learned some lessons, and we're gonna share them with you so that you can do better than we did.
Before we jump into that, we did vlog our 2 days at Cedar Point, plus an extra vlog focusing on boardwalk nights. So those will be linked down in the description below. You'll definitely want to go and check those out.
For sure.
And make sure you are subscribed. We are heading back into some cruising content after this as the summer winds down. You're not gonna wanna miss that. We have some big trips coming up. And let us know in the comments below if you have been to Cedar Point, because this was actually kind of our first visit. You had been there when you were a kid, but it was my first time there and we learned a lot. And let's just jump right in. Remember, we are not experts. This is just stuff we noticed from our 2 days there. We aren't locals, so take everything we say with a grain of salt. But we do theme parks kind of regularly and have some good ideas, I think.
Number
1.
If you're going to visit Cedar Point in the morning, consider using the alternate entry gate. The primary gate to enter the parking lot area can get congested. There can be significant traffic. The lanes are a little confusing as to which ones are going to be self-service, which ones are associate run. It does take kind of a long time to get from there into an actual part of the parking lot where you can park. The alternate gate just leads you right into the parking lot, and it was very straightforward and simple and didn't really take any extra time. So consider using that one instead.
If you use the main gate, try to be in the right-hand lanes. That's gonna take you under the main gate. We made the mistake and we're in the left-hand lane, and there's kind of these 3 other turnstiles. It's not what you call them when you're in a car, but you know what I mean.
They're booths.
And it did drive us the whole way around the parking lot. We had to wait for other people to cross the street. It was kind of a little bit of a hot mess. Yeah, I don't know, but yeah, just keep that in mind. And number 2. This, I think, applies for most theme parks, but applied for Cedar Point more than any other theme park we have visited, and that is to travel as light as possible. For us, that's impossible. We have to take our camera stuff and batteries and all of the other accessories that go with that, but the loose item policy at Cedar Point is strict at some points and odd with others. If you're wearing sunglasses, buy a retention strap. Just have it before you go in the park. They sell them in there, but don't waste the time, because for a lot of the rides, they won't even let you wear sunglasses unless you have that strap. So to give you an example, we went to get on the carousel, not the regular carousel, the racing carousel, and it was very hot the day we were there, and I had a cooling towel, and I had tied it in a double knot around my wrist. Could have been like an accessory at that point, and I was told you can't have that on your wrist. You have to put it in a bag.
It was a little bit arbitrary and a little bit all over the place in terms of what the rules were from one ride to the next. It's really not clear when you're entering a line exactly what constitutes a loose item at that ride to that operator that day.
Yeah, we saw a lot of different things on different rides. Some rides have bins, some rides have bins, but they're only for shoes. Some rides you cannot take absolutely anything and you're gonna go through a metal detector. So I would say just don't carry anything except credit cards and a cell phone, because for every ride that doesn't allow you to have anything, there are free lockers for those things. Anything else is gonna have to go in a larger locker, which is gonna cost between like $3 if you just rent it for a couple of hours to $15 for an all-day movable locker. That's what we ended up doing just because we had so much stuff. And it's a little bit frustrating that they're forcing you to spend money like that. I get it, they don't want things falling off these coasters, but because it's different for each ride, it's a little confusing. Just travel light and it eliminates any confusion.
Number 3, if you're visiting Cedar Point, you're probably going because you love coasters. If you're not visiting during the early entry hour, then you might have a hard time getting around to some of the big name coasters, especially during peak season. It just gets busy very quickly and the wait times just go up and up if you're not using the FastLane passes. Lucky for you, two of the big ticket rides that are kind of at the top of everybody's list, Maverick and Steel Vengeance, are way at the back of the park, and it takes crowds a little bit to get there once the park opens at 10. If those aren't your style, same goes for Siren's Curse. That's a fairly new ride right now. At least as of the time of filming this video, it's not running during early entry, so if you are there for early entry, you can hit some of those rides for that first hour, hop in line for Siren's Curse before the park opens, and you have a good chance of being able to ride it at one of the lowest wait times throughout the entire day.
And number 4, unless you are going to Cedar Point to exclusively ride the coasters and you plan on spending every minute of your day riding a coaster or standing in line for a coaster, I don't think I can recommend buying the FastLane option. On the Saturday we were there, the basic FastLane was $155 and the FastLane Plus was $209. And you might be saying, okay, but I can ride these rides over and over and over again, and I wish I could say, yes, you can, but on the Saturday that we were there, for many of the big name coasters, even the FastLane had a 30 to 45 minute wait.
The number of times we would look at the app and see a ride had just gone down that was just open 15 minutes ago after it had just gone down an hour before that.
Yeah.
I wish, like Taylor said, that getting the FastLane pass would guarantee you efficient access onto all the loading platforms, but it just doesn't. And for the cost, considering that you can get a season pass, like a gold level season pass, for the same price as a single day FastLane, it's really hard to recommend.
It is so much money. And when I saw those wait times, I was like, thank goodness we didn't buy the FastLane. It's always something that you can buy once you get in the park too, that if you get there and you're like, oh my gosh, I'm not gonna be able to ride anything, you can buy a FastLane option if you're willing to shell out that money, but I would not make that decision ahead of time.
Number 5. This one is simple, and going along the topic of FastLanes, Cedar Point does have single-use FastLane options for individual rides. Not all of the rides, but some of the major rides. So if you really, really want to get yourself onto one of those rides, you can purchase a FastLane option for it. Just know that they don't go on sale until 2 p.m. So plan your day accordingly.
When we were there on the weekend, they do cost anywhere from $10 to Siren's Curse was $45 for a single-use FastLane. So also take that into consideration.
Number 6. When you do go to ride Steel Vengeance, because you should, because it's a great coaster, as you get closer to the platform, at some point you have to go through metal detectors. It's one of those rides that you can't have anything in your pockets. We recommend staying towards the left-hand line when you go through the metal detectors. It seemed as though that line moved faster, at least on the day we were there, but even on a day when they're both running the same speed, if you don't have a bag, you don't have to stop at the lockers, but everybody in front of you did. So, sticking to that line will allow you to save a little bit of time as you skip past the lockers and go right back into line while everybody else is putting their stuff away. Just a little hack. Might cut off a few minutes, but it's worth it if you're trying to make the most of your day there.
I would definitely say your mileage may vary on this one. We saw people that were behind us in the original line that were in the left-hand line and we were in the right-hand line, and they got on like 3 or 4 cars ahead of us.
Yeah, don't know what happened.
Yeah.
It's just the way it works, I guess.
Number 7. Now we said this, if you watched our Kings Island videos, especially the tips and tricks, buy the dining plan. And if there's 2 of you, just buy one of them. It's gonna cost you about $40 and change with tax. And that is gonna get you a meal, not at every place in the park, but most of them, that is an entree and a side every 90 minutes. I will say that I don't think I saw a meal with an entree and a side that was any less than $18. So if you do the math, that's 2 meals and you're breaking even. We did 4 meals in one day that we split between the 2 of us. So we would have paid probably over $80 in food, pretty basic food, and we only paid 40. So it was like a 50% savings. But even if you only do 2 meals or 3 meals, like you're saving money.
Now, if you do want to have a soft drink, there is an option to include access to soft drinks with your meal plan. Just do the research, pick the one that's best for you.
And that's actually gonna lead us perfectly into number 8. And I hate to say this, but I think at Cedar Point, you kind of have to buy a drink plan.
That's really saying something because we don't drink soda.
No, but just for your access to water.
This seems to be a Cedar Fair problem.
So what you're seeing on the screen right now is actually from Kings Island, but they're the exact same cup size as what you can get at Cedar Point if you ask for free water. So as you can see, it's not very big. And that's if you can find a place that has those cups. If they don't have those cups, they will not give you water. It was over 90 degrees the day we were there, and we asked for water with our meal sometimes, and we're told no, which I'm sorry. You can rag on me. That is unacceptable.
It's unsafe. You can't deny people water when the real feels over 100 degrees and you're outside all day. It's just, you're asking for danger.
And on top of that, a bottle of water costs $7 in the park. And if you bring your own, that means you have to get a locker because of the policies.
That's true. I'm beginning to see a pattern here. They're just forcing you to spend additional money on things. That's good business.
Yeah, it's absolutely a ripoff. But if you buy the drink package, that's gonna get you anything from a fountain, so a soda, lemonade, or water every 15 minutes. And the cup size of that was pretty big. It is a disposable cup, which is nice. You don't have to get like a reusable cup that you take with you. I like that. You get a wristband. You can say, can I have a drink? And they scan that. But this is also something, if you don't mind sharing drinks, maybe just buy one for a couple, or if you have like a kid with you, that you can just share the drink so you're not spending double. I hate to say it, but I really think, especially if it's gonna be hot, just buy the drink package.
Number 9, totally unadvertised from what we could see, but in the Grand Pavilion, there's a whole other eatery place up there. The little like build your own nacho place. If you know the name for it, let us know. But the whole top floor, the whole second floor of the Grand Pavilion is actually a great place to just go eat. Generally, it was less crowded. There's a bar up there, which is great. And if you don't want to eat inside on the second floor, there's also a very nice outdoor seating area on a balcony that overlooks the beach and the lake. And it's really pleasant. And you wouldn't know it was there because it doesn't face the park. You can't see that balcony from anywhere in the park. You only know it's there if you go upstairs on the second floor of the Grand Pavilion and see it.
Yeah, we ate food twice from the bottom station at the Grand Pavilion, and it was
fine.
It was all right.
It was fine.
But you like the nachos.
Nachos were great.
So
they make them on Doritos, or you can have them made
that was cool.
with Doritos. That was neat.
So don't miss that, because we almost did. And number 10, don't skip Frontier Town. It is actually kind of a large section in the back of the park. You're gonna find Steel Vengeance and Maverick back there, but otherwise it's just kind of a quiet, quaint place to go. Cedar Point is hands down the loudest theme park we have ever been to. At any point, you're gonna hear the like concussive whomp
of Top Thrill.
Of Top Thrill.
Yep.
Or the roar of Raptor. And Frontier Town was much quieter.
Such a nice little respite. You escape the noise. There's no music, there's really no roller coaster noise, nobody's screaming. It just is, it's kind of a mosey place. Like you get back there and you feel like, where am I? It just transitions out of theme park and into something totally different. And like you said, quaint, well themed. There's a
couple saloons.
Saloons with some really unique cocktails. Nice sitting places, some craft stations. There's a petting zoo. Yeah, it is neat.
And it is pretty much the only area in Cedar Point that is themed.
Yeah, the ride areas might be themed, but to have an entire area that big that is themed one way, it's a lot like Disney, really. Where you have like a whole land. Frontier town. Oh, that's a ripoff, huh? Probably.
All right, and I think just take my clothes off because we're done. It's so sweaty.
Why would you take your clothes off?
Bonus.
Did you take her clothes off?
Cedar Point is a really popular park, and if you're going peak summer time, it can be very busy, especially on the weekends. And we totally knew that. We were like, we're going on a Friday and a Saturday, which were two of the busier days. But the difference between our Friday and our Saturday visit were literally night and day.
Very substantial different crowd levels.
And one of the reasons is the Saturday we were there, the park starting at 8:30 had been rented out to a company. And when I say company, I mean a global company. It felt like there were tens of thousands of them there.
It was hard to look anywhere in the park without seeing a dozen of this particular company's shirts.
And they got in at 8:30. So they got in before anyone that was staying on property and pass holders. So by the time we rolled up, and we rolled up around 8:30, the park was full.
Pretty much. But yeah, by the time we got in for early entry, all of the lines already were pretty much at what they were on Friday when we were there.
So there's no way to also see if this is going to happen on the weekend you're there. I don't know how often it happens at Cedar Point, but we got unlucky.
For sure.
And I think if we had, number one, had that been our only day, that would have sucked.
Oh yeah, because we only got to ride like 3 or 4 rides all of Saturday that we were there because of how long the lines were.
Siren's Curse had a 2.5 hour wait. And if I had known that they were in the park that day, like, I wouldn't have gone that day.
We'd have picked a different day.
Yeah, sure. But there's no way to know. So I think you have to go in on a summer weekend, kind of just like expecting it to be bad.
Yeah, it's going to be very busy.
Yeah.
If you're there on a day that is a corporate event or where there are several corporate events, it's going to be even busier.
Yeah.
This is not to say that you shouldn't go on a weekend.
Yeah.
Like, if you love theme parks, just plan accordingly.
Yeah.
That's all we're saying.
And listen, we know, we can't go during the week. Like,
yeah,
we have jobs. It's just not really possible for us to go on a Wednesday in the middle of the summer. So we understand that, and we know other people are in the same position. So we want to warn you.
That's really what it comes down to. If you and your family are planning to go, work in at least one weekday if you can, because you're going to have a totally different, we think much better experience on a weekday compared to a weekend.
And there you have it. On that note,
I really feel like we thrashed Cedar Point.
Listen, we had an okay time at Cedar Point.
It was a fine experience.
I think the problem is we did Kings Island a month beforehand and had a great time. So, you know, some theme parks are for you and some aren't. We will go back to Cedar Point someday, especially when our son is older and wants to do all these giant thrill rides. But I think for now, like, we'll leave that to the future.
Yeah.
But as we said, go down in the comments below, let us know your tips and tricks for Cedar Point if you have been there before. And if you haven't, let us know when you're going, because I'm assuming if you're watching this, you'll probably be visiting sometime in the future. And give the video a thumbs up if it's helped you. We appreciate that.
Thanks for hanging out with us today. We very much look forward to seeing you in our travels in the future. But until then, that's all from this happy place.
Now go find yours.
Bye.
Bye. With some hefty coasters and some odd policies that sit right.
Those policies sit right on the beach.
Policies.
Right on their towels.
A huge park that sits right on the beach that has that. So how do you This might take a while.
We're going to share some of the tips, tricks, and hacks that we learned during our recent visit to Cedar Point. So, come with us today, because reasons.
You okay?
I was going to say help a brother out.
I don't think you can say that.
And I have no idea why. Like, I'd never say that. I was like, who did I just become?
I was worried. You stopped talking and then start back up again, and
I was having an internal identity crisis.
I could feel it.
It's like, what person did I just become? Anyway.
Number.
Just wait until.
I'm so sweaty.
Oh.
My thighs, man. It's a lot. Anything else?
I have nothing else.
All right.
I feel like we have thoroughly eviscerated this park.